Okay, back to football.
Oh man, yeah. Just get rid of ties, man. Just get rid of ties. But
Yeah,
World Cup has been going on though. Canada scored a goal, right? So that's a
Canada scored a
dub.
goal. That was
That's a dub.
their first goal in World Cup history. So we'll
That's a
take
dub
it.
for the nation, man.
We
That's
will
a dub
take
for the
it
whole
for
nation.
sure.
City boys, we up.
It's funny though, because like, and I'm not surprised, but like, there's so many people that just have not been in touch with Canadian soccer, understandably so. That are like, oh, Canada's in the World Cup, let's watch, and then they
Yeah.
see us get no points, and everyone's disappointed, and it's like, guys, we weren't even expected to be here. We didn't think we were qualified. We haven't done this in 36 years. Like, we're just happy we're here and we scored and we like looked decent. We didn't get absolutely smacked.
That's the best point of fandom right there, where the expectation is like the bare minimum.
Yeah,
Like just make it and just do a little something. That's the best part about fandom. I hate being a fan of a team that has expectations, man. That's why I said that stuff about the Celtics earlier, because it's just like expectations just bring disappointment every time.
I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago on the podcast, man, where it was just like being a Bengals fan and the team not doing anything significant in my entire life. Then to see the Super Bowl run last year was just like, it didn't feel real. It was just so much fun because it's like you have no expectations ever. And then it's like, oh, they're pretty good. But, oh, the Bengals made the playoffs plenty of times when I was a kid, but they'd always just lose as soon as they got there. Like, they're definitely not going to go far. Like, this conference has Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Like, they're definitely not going to go far now. And it's like, just for them to do that and, like, just experience that as a fan, like, those kind of underdog Cinderella stories are just, they're crazy. And I know, like, now the Bengals kind of have a target on their back because they made it that far, but, like, historically speaking, this team was not great. So it's so much different. And it's also just, I think, more gratifying. Like, if I was like a Patriots fan or like a Cowboys fan or something, it's like my team's just always kind of like mediocre to good. Like, the team's never really bad. And, you know, like, okay, we're good this year. Wow. And it's like, oh, unless we like actually like go to the Super Bowl and like make the Super Bowl, it's like, who really cares? But for a team like that I've been like riding with, the hometown team since I was born, pretty much, to see that finally come to fruition. I imagine a lot of fan bases probably feel like that. Like, even like Suns fans hadn't been in the finals since 93. Steve Nash teams kind of always choked. So then they finally like kind of broke through and went to the finals. Bucks hadn't really been since 2001 or not 1971 rather. I think they went to the conference finals in 2001. Yeah. But yeah, it's like teams that aren't good for super long stretches of time and the expectations get really low, and then you come up and it's just like so euphoric, man, because it just feels so much more earned and deserved for like being a fan and sticking through.
Definitely.
No, I agree.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's back to Canada making the World Cup. I mean, yeah, like when we qualified, that was the winning the Super Bowl, so to speak. Like, just qualifying was so neat because it's like we haven't even been in the last stage of qualifying for decades. Like, we didn't even get to the last round. We were knocked out before then. Like, that's the difference. I mean, similar to where Morocco are at now, just even greater. I mean, Morocco are in their first quarterfinal ever in the World Cup, and they're not even usually a lock to get there. So it's like those are the fun stories, man. That's whether it's soccer or otherwise, where you just see that team that doesn't often have success that has good success. That as a fan, it's just like you say, it's that much more rewarding, and it's that you're not as worried about it. You're just enjoying the success because there's not those expectations. And as a neutral fan or a fan of another team, it's easy to root for those teams and easy to get behind them.
Yeah, some of the most fun teams are the ones that have no expectations.
Definitely.
Like the mediocre teams that like we didn't expect them to be a playoff team or whatever team, but they're fun. They made the playoffs. They're up tip. Like it just seems like that 2018 Pelicans team. Like that's a prime example of a team that was like that. And some of my favorite Celtic teams were the ones like with Isaiah Thomas that we knew we were going to beat LeBron, but it was fun still. It was fun making it to the conference finals and watching that season. But those are some of my favorite teams. But because when your teams have expectations, you're just kind of anticipating that disappointment to eventually happen. And it probably feels good if it doesn't happen, but then when it happens, even though you expect it, you're just like, damn, we were so good all year. And then this point becomes.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I feel like, Tyrik, I feel like your teams are like historically pretty good. So I cannot imagine that that expectation target on your back all the time, every single year type thing.
It sucks.
Like past decade or so, since like the Isaiah Thomas teams were good, the Celtics have like never really not played a home playoff series. Except maybe like the bubble year or something.
I'm trying to think.
And then it was like the Saints with Drew Brees were competing like year in, year out. Aren't you a Yankees fan too?
Yeah. Even though I'm not as in touch with baseball anymore, but yeah.
Just got all the good franchises, man.
Yankees was not forced on me, but like, yeah. I didn't really have any other choice but to be a Yankees fan. Other teams I picked myself, and I just picked right. I didn't have to go through the pain of picking a bad team. Like one of my friends, he's from Colorado, so like he likes the Colorado Buffalo, like the University of Colorado. And I'm like, now that they got Deion Sanders, I'm like, that's gonna feel good if they actually become a good team. And it's like, dang, like you were with them when they were terrible, and now y'all are back good. Like you could really like talk your stuff at that point. Has to feel very rewarding. Very.
Oh, that's why I talk so much trash about like anything the Bengals do, because the Bengals were like,
the Bengals were never like, y'all had that one really bad season, but other than that, for pretty much my entire teenage life, you guys were a playoff team.
You're just irrelevant.
I mean, yeah, everybody kind of knew the expectation. Maybe that's what you're talking about.
They weren't ever relevant, bro. They were probably the least talked about team in the entire league. Like nobody cared. The Bengals had zero presence outside of Cincinnati.
That's because we knew the end result.
I feel like now, like in the next like 10 years, you may actually see people who are Bengals fans outside of the Cincinnati metropolitan area. Because the rest of even like Columbus is right in the middle of Ohio. It's right between Cincinnati and Cleveland. Everybody is Browns fans. And the Browns literally have never won a division title. Like, that's how irrelevant the Bengals were. A team that has never won the division ever is literally more popular in the center of the state. It's just like the Bengals are just the like literal prime not relevant.
Yeah, that is crazy, actually. That's funny. They'll probably get a little bit more. Assuming Burrow sticks around, then that'll probably be enough.
Yeah, I think we got at least a couple good years in us, man. I don't know. I'm kind of scared that like T. Higgins or something might leave in a couple years, and I'm gonna get real sad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can keep all three between him, Chase, and Boyd. So
Boyd
someone's probably an on my note.
After that drop last week in the end zone, he can go, bro.
I didn't see. Was that like an egregious drop? I never saw
It's the worst drop I've ever seen. He was like,
was he like wide open?
Bro, there was nobody within like 4 to 5 feet of him, and it was like on the goal line.
4 to 5 feet or yards?
Yards. Wait, maybe actually probably feet. Somewhere between. I don't know.
It's about a yard.
Either way, completely uncontested. I don't even think he was going that fast either.
He doesn't really drop passes either. That's surprising.
T. Higgins is so him though. T. Higgins had 3 catches last week, and they were all 3 like crazy. Like one was to win the game to get like the last first down they needed after like an egregious second down play. Yeah. And then like one of them was like that touchdown where he made the extra effort at the end. I couldn't tell you what the third was off the top of my head, but it's like his stats weren't crazy, but everything he did was just so important.
I had to trade him too. I had to trade him, man, because all my tight ends got hurt. Well, I only had one tight end, but Dallas Goedert got hurt.
Yeah.
So
he was putting up star numbers, bro.
He was eating. Then got hurt on a play that was a face mask. Oh my god! It should have been a face mask, but they didn't call it.
Yeah.
That's kind of karma. That's kind of karma after the Super Bowl.
What Super
He
Bowl?
told the Super. Are you not? Oh, for some reason I was still thinking of T. Higgins. I was like, bro. I was like, T. Higgins on that face mask on Jalen Ramsey, bro. A non-called face mask on T. Higgins would be like.
That was nasty. That was
nasty. Your nasty catch clean to the end zone for 75 yards and a tutty.
I had to trade T. Higgins for Dalton Schultz and Mike Williams. Not my happiest moment.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate considering Williams got injured right away.
Yeah, I do think that fantasy owner did hit a lick on you. I'm not gonna lie.
It was desperate, man, because I could not go into the playoffs playing Russian roulette at tight end.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm hoping Goddard's back in the next week or two because I'm running Dulcich there right now. So it was good last week, but that's a risky road to play.
I would have made the fantasy playoffs, but the Cowboys defense scored like 20 plus points against me because the Colts couldn't play any offense, and I lost by 4.
That is very unfortunate.
Did y'all's playoffs start this week, or is it like
mine's next week?
Ours starts this week.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of had to make a move because even if Goddard comes back, I'm like, he might not be back until like the very last week.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. We're just a bunch of stingy traders in my league, and I'm no better at that because I'm probably the stingiest trader known to man. But we just like if there's 2 or 3 trades in our league a year, that's it. And like I'd be sending out trade offers like crazy, but they ain't favorable to the other people. I'll tell them that much. So our league's crazy this year. Like this week's the last week of our regular season. No one's clinched a playoff spot.
Jeez.
There is we're a 10-man league, and there's 4 people who make the playoffs, and there's 6 of us that are still in the running. And the worst odds based on ESPN's percentage projection is 46%. Like no one is guaranteed. It's crazy. It's a wild league this year.
Our last week was our final week of the regular season. I was the only person that clinched, but I still didn't even clinch the top seed. Like I was in the playoffs, but I did not have the top seed still, like 100% clinched. But other than that, like everybody else was like 7-5 or 6-6 in our league.
Yeah.
Except for one team. One team was just like really bad. But it came down to like the very last like game, pretty much. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's how my league's looking. We got my division is stacked. There's 3 8-5 teams, and then I'm 7-6, and the other division has an 8-5 and a 7-6.
Jeez.
And I played the 7-6 in the other division this week. So if I win and one of the 3 teams above me lose, then I get the crossover spot. But if they all win, then I'm screwed. So it's crazy, man. Everyone has to win this week because no one plays each other. They all
it a 10-team league?
10-team league, yeah.
10-team
league, yeah. We've never had a year like this. Last week and no one has clinched.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It's just a good football time, bro. Everybody, literally, when it comes to like NFL, makes me so happy, makes me smile, man. But college football is in shambles, bro. Ohio State might have made the playoff, but like, I had so much more fun watching that Utah game than I did like watching an Ohio State game in the past month.
I like college football, but I don't love it. It's fine. It's cool, but I don't love college football. It's fun to cover, but watching it, like, majority games are blowouts. you might get a good top 10 matchup every 3 weeks or so, and even those tend to be boring games sometimes. Like the best part about college football is like the environments by far. Other than that, the product is not always amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Unless you're a fan of like big plays, just because defenses are not as high level usually. Like teams will just randomly like they'll be just down like 3 scores, and then all of a sudden they just get 2 back-to-back 80-yard touchdowns. Like that stuff you only really see in college, or like because of the overtime rules, you'll see a game go into like 6 overtimes and be like 70-70.
Mm.
But if you like more well-rounded games, I feel like
they changed those rules a couple years ago. They changed the OT rules a couple years ago to like
OT rules are so weird now.
They change
like
all the
I
time.
still like that teams like both teams get a shot, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And you can get like really crazy shootouts, but like at the same time, I don't really like starting like damn near in the red zone. I think that's really strange because then it's like if like a team goes for a touchdown and then they don't get it, like
TCU last week.
Bro, you're damn near already in field goal range, bro. Like
so corny.
Kansas State got the ball back and the game was over because they didn't really have to do anything.
They should
start. It's like you might as well just like if you want to make it like you don't have to go the full length of the field, like okay, but it's like starting literally damn near in field goal range to me is just crazy. Like you literally. You just do nothing. Like literally, just kick a field goal on the first play. Might as well.
That's facts.
Where are they starting the OT possessions from?
Pretty sure it's like the 30.
25.
Yeah, 25 or 30.
Wow.
You're damn near in the red zone already. Yeah, a lot of kickers could probably just kick on the first play.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like I think the Canadian Football League's OT rules are similar, but I think they start at the 40. I think
that's more reasonable.
That seems a little bit more reasonable. Although field goal, that's not much of a difference for field goals because field goal posts in the CFL are at the front of the end zone, not the back. So it's actually not that different for field goals. But at least you got to drive 40 yards, or you're kicking a 50-yard field goal instead of 25, 30 yards. That's crazy.
Facts.
That's crazy.
But I think after the first overtime, if you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2. And then after that, it's like they just start doing 2-point conversion contests. kind of like a shootout. So
it's just so strange. Honestly, because I don't hate ties in the NFL because it's just playing like more regular football pretty much. Plus sudden death, like the team who loses is always going to complain about it, but like there is something to be said about like just the environment and like the drama of it of like, dang, like they really got to step up and like not give up a touchdown. But while it does suck for teams with really bad defenses, like the only thing I can say is get better on defense, and that will not happen to you.
Like great defensive players are just walking around on trees, growing on trees.
Just get better on defense, bro.
Just get better. I see Gabe having a son and his son.
It's a skill issue.
I see Gabe having a kid and his kid's trying to get better in sports. He's just gonna be like, just get better, man. Better. I don't know what to tell you.
There you go. Bro, literally, the only thing I can ever tell you is suck less and do better. That's all I can say. Suck less and do better. Hey, is it though? Because if you suck less and do better, you're gonna be better and you're gonna suck less. So like, is it bad?
But are you?
Yeah. If you get better,
I don't know if that's advice. That's just criticism at that point. Bro, there's nothing constructive about that criticism.
Hey, listen, any team that has ever lost, it's a skill issue, bro. It's always a skill issue. Like when the Bills are complaining about like the Chiefs winning in overtime, like, bro, maybe don't give up a field goal length drive in 8 seconds. That's a skill issue. Respectfully, you don't deserve to win that game. If you gave up that big of a drive in 8 seconds, you don't deserve to win the game. Josh Allen probably might have deserved to win, but man, and don't just say it's Patrick Mahomes, because in the AFC Championship, I don't think the Chiefs scored a touchdown. I don't think Travis Kelce had a catch in the second half.
It was rigged, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, it's a skill issue. It's a skill issue. When the Bengals got cooked by the Rams, Aaron Donald had his way because the Bengals didn't have an O-line. Skill issue.
Russ made some garbage calls on that final touchdown drive. Is that a skill issue? Skill to Russ, maybe? I do think
that was a skill issue. That was a skill. Because, listen, because if the Bengals wouldn't have made it, if it wasn't that close, if they would have just had a little bit more of a gap.
They were the underdogs.
Be better. Don't be the underdog.
Be better. Be better.
Spend more money, bro.
I hope you coach like youth basketball or something like that.
Be better. We're running suicides.
Halftime speech is going to be
coach,
like,
cardio. How we doing better on the next inbound play? Be better.
Bro has no.
Better.
Bro has no clipboard.
It's a make or miss league. If you make your shots, you're not gonna lose.
Bro's just gonna have him run suicides the entire practice.
What do we always say?
Basketball.
Isn't the biggest thing on defense effort?
It might be skill. The way you're talking, it might be skill, man. You might have the intangibles.
It may be a skill. It may be a skill issue, bro. I don't know.
Gosh.
Hey, all I know is
what has it turned into? What is that?
It's never, hey man, because it's never a skill issue if I lost. I'll tell you that because
the sock was on the wrong way.
At that point, there was some structural damages.
So is having Riz effort or skill, or is it God-given talent? What is it, Gabe?
I don't think it's skill, because if it was, then I would have it, because it's clearly not a skill issue. I don't know, man. It must be a God-given talent, bro.
The God-given gift.
Well, why are you asking me? You're Reek knows Riz, bro.
I'm really not. I don't know why. Like,
he's literally Reek knows Riz, bro. Listen,
I don't know why you
understand, bro. We were at work.
He's watching, bro. He's watching. Though.
Hey, we were at work, bro, and Reek is coaching this man on Riz.
I didn't say much though.
He was coaching him. He was really coaching him, bro.
I didn't say much.
Gabe just has a skill issue. He doesn't know.
He needs
it's not a skill. Effort. It's not a skill issue.
Put more hours in the gym, bro.
It's not you said it. You said it.
I don't even remember what I told G. Honestly, I don't even remember what I told him.
Sorry, we're running 3 miles tonight, bro.
I'm not running 3 miles. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. All right.
I'll walk. I don't run anymore, bro.
Sounds like a skill issue.
It is. I don't got wind anymore, man. That is definitely a skill issue.
It's quite
that I'm not man enough to work on. I will admit that.
Quite the skill issue, I fear.
If I hop on a treadmill, that might be my workout. That's all. I'm leaving. I don't do treadmills no more. That's a fact.
That's a very clear skill gap, I guess.
I hop on the stationary bike though. Skill.
I lived on the stationary bike when I was recovering from concussions. It's underrated.
Very underrated, man. I look at the treadmill now, like I used to run like a mile or two every day, but now I look at it as people who really dislike cardio, but they just want to get it out the way.
Yeah. I've never liked treadmills. I don't mind running, but
I don't have the heart for a treadmill
not
anymore,
treadmills. Not treadmills. Problem is though, I like running, and then December comes and I step outside and it's minus 20 degrees outside, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, man. It was
like
minus 39 with the wind chill the other night, man. This is not fit for the start of December.
Gotta join the club, man. Gotta join the treadmill club, man. Outside runs, not me.
I'll pass on the treadmill, man.
If there's something I'm not gonna do, it's touch grass. I'll tell you that. But will I touch the weights or the treadmill? I may.
I'll touch the weights all day. Treadmill, I'm soft, man. Call me soft. I'm soft.
It does sound. Mentality is a skill. It does sound like the skill issue.
It is.
It does sound like it's a skill issue.
You know what's funny though? Like, even when I go out and hoop, even though I don't hoop as much, but even if I go out, I'm never winded. But that treadmill, every time I try and run, even if I can't do it, man. I just get so gassed, and then my calves start cramping up or something like that. It's just like it's all bad. Like can't do the treadmill no more, man. I'm getting too old for that.
Feel that.
Too old, man. Might have to hop on the bike. Maybe the Stairmaster. Maybe heard that gets a good burn in. Treadmill, no.
Interesting.
Yeah, treadmill's a no-go.
No.
Very interesting. Wow, guys.
No,
we've hit the 3-hour mark for the third consecutive week.
We have comfortably this week.
Dedicated podcast doers.
Dedicated. I ain't gonna lie though. I gotta hit a workout tonight, and the gym does close in an hour and a half. So I may not be able to stay on for much longer.
Jeez. Planet Fitness closes?
At 10 o'clock, man.
What's the point of having a membership there?
Early.
The point of the membership.
We might have to lift tomorrow then, Gabe. We can hit you said you got back and buys tomorrow? We can hit upper body tomorrow now. Because I'm not about to make it over there in time to get a workout. I already know I'm not.
You hear this? Do you hear this skill issue right here?
Hey, I have a gym. I have a gym in my apartment complex to stay open all night, man. I'm good. I'm gonna get my workout in.
I might have to come. I might have to come to your turf and get a workout in, man. What the heck?
It's cool. Just certain it's a very small gym. It's like a hotel type gym, so equipment is lacking. Like it's enough to get the job done, but depending on what your workout routine is, you might not feel like you got the most out of your workout. Just depending on what you're trying to do. They do have everything that you kind of need though, except just lack of leg machines. That's my biggest thing that I hate. The lack of leg machines. Got to do a lot of dumbbell workouts with the legs, which I absolutely hate.
Very suboptimal. Very suboptimal.
Very.
I love working out though. Just from the mental aspect, I don't think there's anything that makes me feel quite as good as working out. Literally, November was such a bad month. Came into December, made it literally first 6 days in a row. It's quite beautiful. Felt so good every day.
It's definitely the best morale booster out there. That's healthy for you.
Definitely.
Shout out to the gym, man. Shout out to the gym. We done those. Is the shortest after show in 3-point weekly history.
Maybe the shortest after. Maybe because we actually got 2.5 hours of basketball talk.
We did, yeah. We usually get an hour and a half and then hour and a half of after show content.
Yeah. Last week was heavy on the after show too. So combination.
We got about 30 minutes in this one, man. We'll be all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe more than 30, honestly.
Yeah, give or take. I think it's about 30 minutes. That's more than fine. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of 3 Point Weekly. If you guys did enjoy this week's after show, then be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more content next week. Within a few days, we'll be sure to have our next NBA talk content episode out. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And there'll be another after show following that around a few days before Christmas, most likely. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yeah.